Hi, I'm Katie, the owner of Wisdom Within Counseling. You can learn more about child therapy, teen therapy, and couples counseling at wisdomwithinct.com. This video will give you tips to help your child if they are anxious. An anxious child might pick their skin, might be very frustrated or frazzled more easily. An anxious child might not want to go to school, might not be excited as other kids are, and maybe less bubbly than they used to be, maybe 6 months ago or even 9 months ago. So if your child has anxiety, they might have low self-esteem, doubt themselves, or even have some obsessive or compulsive thoughts. So they might be fixated or get kind of stuck in their brain on their thinking patterns and struggle with flexible thinking. So here are some tips if your child has anxiety to help soothe them, to help provide resilience and some coping tools so that you as a parent can also feel less anxious. Because a lot of times in family counseling and child therapy, when a child's anxious, it's natural for you to feel concerned and worried as a parent. So these tips can also help you kind of calm your nervous system and feel more confident helping your child through these difficult emotions. So tip number 1 is to understand anxiety is something that we all feel. And this is a new emotion for your child, so it might be unknown to them and unfamiliar and even a little bit scary. So teach your child about what happens in their body. Your heart rate increases, your blood pressure increases, your mouth might get a lot of saliva or your mouth might get really dry, your heart just races, you might even have sweaty palms, and this is a feeling of anxiety. And so you can start to name it and give it a vocabulary word and acknowledge it. Talk about it when it's present. Anxiety is with us, and start to use that I feel statement. I feel anxiety when I'm trying a new food, or I'm feeling anxiety about all the things I have to do, and start to model that in your language. Tip number 2 is don't reinforce fears. So if your child is anxious, let's say about spiders, start to create some empowerment around this. So you could get a spider stuffed animal and start there and start to build a little bit of a bridge. If your child's afraid of making new friends or going to camp or going to the first day of school, start to talk positively about those experiences. So if you have social anxiety, your child may also develop social anxiety. So you can say, oh, the first day of school is going to be so fun. We're going to pick out a great outfit. You're going to make so many great friends, and start to talk up these experiences in a positive light. And bridge to the positive. So yeah, you might have some anxiety about people liking you, but once people get to know you, you're such a kind person that they're really gonna get to know you and like you and what's not to like about you. So talking about that in a positive way. Now, resilience is the key to overcoming anxiety, and that is a skill that is built over time. So just like learning to ride a bike or learning to brush your teeth or even play basketball, these are skills that need regular, consistent therapy to build and kind of build that coping skill toolbox. So working with a therapist can help you as a parent and your child build anxiety confidence and anxiety coping strategies, and kind of personalize what works for your child. And we offer art, yoga, music, outdoor nature therapies, and even animal-assisted therapy groups to help children with anxiety. And another tip is that it is okay to cry. A lot of children will cry when they have anxiety and actually not be able to verbalize what's going on for them. So a child might get really quiet and cry, or might get very shy, or even get angry and irritated and start crying and just kind of have an emotional meltdown. So this is a sign that your child has overwhelming anxiety and they need strategies to manage it. And they'll actually feel relieved and more centered when they get to work with a therapist. A lot of times underneath anxiety are a variety of emotions. We kind of have this umbrella, this triangle of an iceberg of feelings. So under anxiety could be feeling scared, worried, concerned, overwhelmed, sensory overload, so too many sounds, too many smells, too many people. Even the feeling of loss, if parents are divorcing or separating, if a grandparent has recently died, or a family pet has passed away, these all contribute to childhood anxiety. And children often have anxiety around trying a new food or, trying ice skating or a new sport. And therapy can be that safe place for your child to process what they've been through, for you to help them process, and to really start to normalize these different emotions that they're experiencing for the first time. My last tip for anxiety is don't ask your child too many questions. A lot of times as adults, we love asking questions because we get more information. But for a child with anxiety, it can be very overwhelming to be questioned. So sometimes you might want to say, oh, is your anxiety bad today? Is your anxiety better? Do you have anxiety today? And that can actually create anxiety because a child feels like they have to have an answer to the question, and they might not even know the answer because they're still trying to figure it out. So ask more open-ended questions like, how was your day? And as a good go-to, you can always make observatory statements like, I see you using the red crayon, or I see you've put on a blue shirt today, and just make observatory statements versus talking about the anxiety, because it can sometimes make it bigger. And the most important thing when you have a child who's anxious is to have a routine and consistent plan, so you and them both know what's coming next. So having regular meal times, like breakfast at 8 a.m. every morning and lunch at 10:30 a.m., so your child really gets in a good routine and their body has that consistent schedule. And that can help really alleviate and relieve some childhood anxiety. And if you're looking for more support than just these few tips, and looking for holistic counseling, parenting support, positive coping strategies for your child, we work with anxious children that have concerning behaviors and really need a creative, holistic outlook. And with children that have worry and, might even have some anxious behaviors and obsessions and thoughts, we use a mixture of creative therapies. So puppets can be really great for children with anxiety, clay, painting, going outside, throwing the ball around, and really helping to build trust and security within that therapeutic relationship using, all different things, musical instruments, drums, shakers, dance, and really just bringing out your child's best self and to be able to help free them from their anxiety, and also teach them how to cope and how to get through the day when they have panic or anxiety. So you can book a free phone consult at wisdomwithinct.com. That's wisdomwithinct.com. And we would love to help you and your child overcome anxiety, build better self-esteem, and holistic positive coping strategies so your child can be emotionally prepared for whatever life brings their way. I'm Katie Ziskind, the owner of Wisdom Within Counseling in Niantic, and we would love to help you and your family thrive. You can book a phone consult at wisdomwithinct.com.